My talk is not technical, so you can all relax, okay? Also, for this talk to be successful, I need a lot of your cooperation. So please be active, be interactive. If this talk sucks, it's not because of me. It's your fault, okay? Good. Sorry. So I started studying programming when I was 15 in the year 2000. Yes. Yes. Yes, I look great. I know. Thank you. And back then, there was 2 million software engineers in the world. Based on the latest estimations, there are around 30 million software engineers right now in the world. And if you also count people who just study programming or just know how to code but don't do it for money, it might be around 50 million people. And this number grows every year more and more, which means that every year there's a huge influx of people, of new people that are coming to our industry. And those people are hungry for information, hungry for advices on how to get better, how to be better programmers, how to have better careers, how to succeed in their careers. And for those, we have things called best practices. The problem with best practices is that everyone can come up with a list of best practices, which is, by the way, exactly what I'm about to do today. So it means that some best practices are actually not that best. They're not even good. They're just practices. And some best practices are actually really, really harmful. And if you follow them, it can really set you back in your career because you're just doing something. Talking too long. You're just doing something that maybe is actually actively harming your career. So what we're going to do today, I will present you with a list of 8 so-called best practices. And I want you to raise your hand if you think this is a best practice, or if you think this is a best practice my ass. AKA, this is a really stupid idea. Okay? Do we get it? Cool. Who in the room is an engineer? Raise your hand. Okay, so I will explain it a little bit more. Look, we all know that the only correct answer to this question is it depends. Let's just ignore it for today, okay? Otherwise, the talk would be very boring. So we have to decide, do we feel like it is more a best practice or it is more best practice my ass? Okay, you have to decide. Let's save the it depends for the drinks later. All clear? Let's do it. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Who thinks this is a good idea and best practice, good advice? We're gonna have a lot of fun today. Who thinks this is not a best practice or good advice? All right. This is a stupid advice, a stupid thing to say. Try it yourself. Go to your next few meetings and start asking really stupid questions. You will really quickly realize that this is actually not true. What this actually says, what we wanted to say with this, is if you have a question and you Googled it and didn't find an answer, if you ask ChatGPT and you didn't find an answer, which, by the way, is the only mention of AI in my talk. Then you ask a few colleagues, and then maybe you can ask the question publicly, such that it's not a stupid question. So yeah, there's a lot of stupid questions you shouldn't be asking, and you should try to Google it or try to find it out yourself. Otherwise, you will look stupid. Okay, next one. You should aim for 100% test coverage. Who thinks this is the best practice? Oh, who thinks this is not the best practice? Okay, of course, this is just a stupid thing. Test coverage means nothing. It's just a vanity metric. It's as useful as knowing how many lines of code you have in your project. So nobody raised your hand. I'm so proud of you. You should know your backlog by heart. Or as my mom would used to say, if I wake you up in the middle of the night, you should know what's on your backlog. I had a very peculiar childhood. So who thinks this is a best practice? Who thinks this is not a best practice? Oh, this is a best practice. But it doesn't mean that you should spend hours every week or every sprint, every whatever cycle you have, learning all the 300 tickets in your backlog. What this says is that you should actually have backlog so short that you remember everything that's on it. And this goes all the way down to the famous Agile manifesto of iterating quickly, learning quickly, and making small improvements to whatever you're doing. If your backlog has 500 tickets, if you know what you're going to be doing 10 sprints from now, then basically you're saying, I expect there will be nothing new I will learn about this in the next 10 sprints. You're basically doing waterfall in sprints. By the way, waterfall is not bad. It's a valid technique. If you know exactly what needs to happen, if you have just a list of 200 things you need to do, you know it's not going to change, and if you finish all of them, you will be successful. Perfect. That's exactly what you should be using. If you're building something new, if you're not sure about the outcome of the things you're doing, then looking 200 tickets in the future, it's actually just a waste of time. You should feel proud of the code you write. Who thinks this is a best practice? Who thinks this is not a best practice? Okay. It's not the best practice. Well, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't feel proud of the code you write. Ideally, you should feel nothing. The code is just a tool to achieve something. You should have no emotional attachment to your code. You should just use it as a tool that will get you to the outcome you want to achieve. Believe me, even if maybe now you think you have just written the most beautiful solution to the main problem your company has, you have just written the core library that will stay in your company for decades, the moment you leave the company, the next person comes in and they will most likely treat it as a technical debt. Yes. You shouldn't track your bugs. Who thinks this is a best practice? Who thinks this is not a best practice? This is not a best practice. You shouldn't track your bugs. What should you do with your bugs? Fix them, yes. When there's a new bug report, you look at it, you triage it, see, is it important? Is it fixable? Is it something we should pay our attention to? If yes, you fix it. If not, you forget it. This is not a joke. You forget it. If the thing you forgot is important, it will resurface again. And if you're getting the same bug report every day, it becomes important and you will fix it. If not, then you can just forget it. The fact that creating a Jira ticket is for free doesn't mean that you have to do it. It's just a waste of space. It's just a visual clutter. You will delete it in half a year, in a year anyway, when you're going to declare your backlog bankruptcy and you will start again. Fix your bugs, don't track them. You should double or triple, both options are valid, your time estimations. Who thinks this is the best practice? Who thinks this is not the best practice? No. Cool. No, this is not the best practice. A, you're actually lying to your coworkers, and lying is bad. B, this can actually have serious consequences, because if something will take a month and you will say that it's going to take 3 months, it might actually be the difference that will make someone else to decide to not do it. And maybe your company is not doing something it can do just because you bloated your estimations. This is, by the way, not the fault of developers or engineers. This is because of like very sick estimation culture that exists in the companies often. It's because people don't actually understand the meaning of the word estimation. So yeah, this is a sensitive topic, but ideally don't do that. There's one exception though. If your bonus, your promotion, or your salary bump is tied to you delivering the project based on your estimation, then do it. And then start looking for a new company with a better culture. You should have long stand-ups. Who thinks this is a best practice? 1, 2, perfect. 3. Who thinks this is not the best practice? Okay. I think it's actually good. And look, there's a little bit of an oxymoron here, because stand-up by definition should be short. And I think this is a very interesting topic, especially for teams that are remote or mostly remote, because every high-performing team is based on a group of people, group of individuals that actually care about each other. And this kind of caring you get when the people know each other. And when you have a remote setup or mostly remote setup, you're losing all these like natural interactions you have with people over the coffee or waiting for the elevator or just going for lunch together. And there's not that many opportunities to actually get to know each other on a personal basis. Having long stand-ups, I'm not saying that you should be talking an hour about technical updates. The update part should still be as short as possible, or ideally not be there at all if you already have a tracking system. But you should look around the people in your team, and ideally you should know the name of their pet, the name of their kids, what music do they like, what they like to do in their free time, what do they like to do, they like to go on vacation. Because that's what creates this social connection, this social credit, that will then be useful when you will be reviewing that person's PR, and it will be really, really bad. That's the difference between saying, could you do this? And hey, maybe we should have a call and work on this together. So use the opportunities, especially if you have remote teams, to just talk about life, talk about people, talk about the normal things, because these opportunities don't exist in remote work, and you're losing this social connection. And the last one. You should blindly follow what some random guy you don't know says about best practices. Who thinks this is a good idea? Thank you. Who thinks this is not a good idea? Yeah, it's of course not a good idea, because it all depends. Thank you very much.